just a small little Thanksgiving away from the States here in Australia. I cooked up a nice ham, did a really good, nice, brown sugar and honey glaze on the ham. I put in just took a frying pan, threw in half a stick of butter, brown sugar, some pineapple juice from a can of pineapple rings, a little bit of cinnamon, what else? I'm missing something. Oh, some honey. And just cooked that down till it got nice and thick, and I threw that on the ham. Took some pineapple rings and toothpicked them to the ham. Threw it in the oven for a few hours. Got a nice glaze on the outside of it. Did some stuffing, did some mashed potatoes, some bread rolls, a cranberry, and an apple pie. Our Australian version of an American Thanksgiving, so that was nice. And because the holiday, sorry about that, I had a really, really bad sneeze. But anyways, because the holiday, I wasn't able to watch that many games this week. I think only 3, unfortunately. Just been a really busy week for me in general. This last week, some stuff around the house and some paperwork stuff with my visa and the holiday, obviously. But this week I watched Cowboys, Commanders, Bills, Eagles, and Bears, Vikings. So we'll be able to talk about all of those at some point, but for now, let's jump into the first game, and that's Packers versus Lions. And this was one of my upset picks this week, and I said that the Packers would win this one, just because I don't know, the Lions looked a little bit shaky in my opinion. I thought maybe the Packers could pull off the upset here, and they totally did, and Jordan Love looked really good while doing it. Final score here is 29-22. Jordan Love had 22 completions on 32 attempts, 268 yards, 3 touchdowns, 0 interceptions. Great game for him in back-to-back weeks now. And was that last week or the week before last? He had that really good game. It might have been the week before last. I'm not 100% confident. And Jared Goff, 29 completions on 44 attempts, 332 yards, 2 touchdowns, 0 interceptions. But he did fumble the ball, which was returned for a Green Bay touchdown. Which, by the way, is a game that Green Bay won by a touchdown, so not good. I don't know why that doesn't go, I don't know, I feel like that should still go against the QB, and it's on technically interception, but I don't know, it should be counted as something or other. Next up we have Commanders versus Cowboys, and this is a game that I watched, although not the whole thing, because this was Thanksgiving Day, and we had our dinner and did a video call with my parents and my brother and stuff back home who were doing a Thanksgiving thing, so that was really nice being able to do a video call and talk to them. But yeah, America's team, they always play on Thanksgiving, you know how it is. Commanders, they start with the ball. They're forced to punt after a 3-and-18. Cowboys drive doesn't go anywhere. Commanders get the ball back. Commanders can't convert the third down, forced to punt again. And I said early on, the run defense for Washington was doing really good against Dallas. Cowboys get the first touchdown of the game. Prescott to Dowdle. Dowdle, is that correct? I have not heard of this dude. I wrote his name down, but I feel like it's, nope, Dowdle. Okay. Dallas defense, huge stand after the touchdown, forces a 3rd and 10. Now gets the ball out of the sack, converts a 3rd down. Robinson gets a massive run, puts the Commanders on the Dallas 20. Commanders go for a screen, but the Cowboys blow it up, 8-yard loss, and they're forced to settle for the field goal there on that particular drive. Cowboys march down, 31-yard reception by Brandon Cooks gets Dallas their second touchdown. And I said at that point the game might already be out of reach for Washington. The Dallas offense is just doing whatever it wants at that point. Sam Howell gets a 1-yard rush to get the Commanders their first touchdown of the game, just under 2 minutes left in the half. But then Pollard responds just before halftime. Cowboys go into halftime up 10 points. Cowboys start the second half with a 3 and out, then the Commanders do the same. Then the Cowboys have another 3 and out. And I said both teams looking flat at this point in the second half. Cowboys stack on a field goal, they go up 13. Parsons gets his first sack of the game on Howell, forces a 3rd and 17 and a punt. Lamb goes in for the touchdown, that's good, and the 2-point conversion is good. And at that point, I turned the game off because it was time to eat Thanksgiving, late lunch. Dinner is what we did, late lunch. And I did predict the Cowboys to win this game, so I was correct on that prediction. How about them Cowboys? Pardon me, there we go. Final score 10-45. See, I turned it off. There was 10:38 left in the fourth quarter when I turned it off, and I see that after that, Turpin got a receiving touchdown, and then there's a pick 6 against Howell. So final score 10-45 in favor of Dallas. They were a 13.5-point favorite. They won by 35. Sam Howell had 28 completions on 44 attempts, 300 yards, 0 touchdowns, 1 interception, which was a pick 6. Dak Prescott went 22 for 32, 331 yards, 4 touchdowns, no picks. I think he had the best QB rating of the week. I'm not 100% sure. But 142.1, that's going to be hard to beat. And man, the Cowboys, them Cowboys look formidable. They're getting hot at the right time. Maybe a little bit early, maybe because there's still quite a few weeks left, so maybe, save it. Hopefully they don't burn out before the playoffs, but they're getting hot. The Cowboys look real good, like very impressive. Both sides of the ball look good. Dak looks better than ever, but the problem is a lot of these teams that are facing right now are kind of weaker teams, so they're just kind of crushing bums, sort of, and you're like, oh, what's it going to be like when they play a better team? Are they going to look any different? Who do they have next? The next game, they have the Seahawks. Oh, they're going to beat us. They're going to beat us for sure. We look terrible right now. Then they have the Eagles. That could go either way. Buffalo, they should beat Buffalo. Miami could go either way. Detroit and then Washington. So they have their December is tough. Their December is Philly, Buffalo, Miami, Detroit. They could go 500. They could lose all those. They could win all those. But yeah. And then they end in Washington. So we'll see how they end up. But Dallas looks very, very good right now. Next up, I don't even want to talk about this game. I don't even want to. I was watching it, but I really didn't even take notes. I just kind of had it on. Yeah, I knew we were gonna lose this, but it's like the way that we lost this, man. It's just like every week I talk about Gino, like, and how bad he is. I'm not gonna keep ragging on it, but I got the prediction right, so whatever. Oh, I have this from last week. That's my bad. I forgot to delete that. But I got that prediction right at least. Niners 31, Seahawks 13. Brock Purdy goes 21 for 30, 209 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 interception, which ended up being a pick 6 for Jordan Brooks. Geno Smith goes 18 for 27, 180 yards, no touchdowns, interception. I'm so tired of Geno Smith, man. We were 3 for 11 on third downs. Like, again, the Genos cannot convert third downs. This team can't convert third downs. We need a new offensive coordinator. I don't know if it's Pete. I'm just so over this season. Like, even if Seahawks games are, like, on in my time zone to where I could watch them to talk about, I don't, because I don't want to watch them. I just don't want to see it, man. Excuse me, that was a bad throat sound there, I'm sorry. Dolphins, Jets. I predicted that the Dolphins would win this game. And they do end up winning it. I feel like I did kinda decent this week on predictions, at least so far. Final score is 34-13 in favor of Miami. They're 8-3, same record as the Cowboys. We'll see what their records are when they meet up here in, I think, 4 weeks. Tim Boyle in at QB for the New York Jets. Wasn't any better than Zach Wilson. Perhaps even worse than Zach Wilson, but they have that other guy. I thought they had another QB. Don't they have Heineke? I don't get why they went from Wilson to Boyle, and they should be looking at Heineke. I talked about it last week, but at that time I forgot that they had him, but I'm pretty sure they have him. I'm not 100%. Tua Tagovailoa, 21 completions on 30 attempts, 243 yards, 1 touchdown, 2 picks. One of those was a pick 6, but what's funny is right after that, Tim Boyle gets a pick 6, so it's like they get taken off the board. They cancel each other out there. Tim Boyle goes 27 for 38, honestly. Not a bad completion percentage, 179 yards, a touchdown, and 2 picks. I mean, both Tua and Tim Boyle were kind of bad, not gonna lie, but Tua with 2 picks, Boyle with 2 picks, like, Tyreek Hill had 102 yards on 9 receptions, he had 11.3, great game from Tyreek. Brees Hall only had 25 yards on 7 carries, that's rough. How many rushing yards? The Jets only had 29 rushing yards. The Jets had 29 rushing yards. And Brees Hall had 25 rushing yards, so... Alright. Jaguars versus Texans. Who did I predict? I predicted the Jaguars to win. I was rolling with Trevor Lawrence. I am a Stroud boy, but I thought, Lawrence, the Jags have been rolling. They're leading their division. It's a division opponent in the Texans, and, the Texans are kind of threatening to maybe not leapfrog, but, maybe start challenging the Jaguars a little bit, so you have to win these division games if you're Jacksonville. And they do. They beat their divisional rival by 3 points, 24-20. won. I'm really upset that I didn't watch this game. Just looking at the stats and the scoring, this looks like an amazing game of football. 3-point game. Both QBs have rushing touchdowns. Both QBs threw for more than 300 yards. Oh wow, they were airing it out. Neither team had 100 rushing yards. Jacksonville had 81, Houston had 91. They were just airing it out. I would have loved to watch this game. I'm really upset this is not one of the ones I was on at a good time for my time zone. Trevor Lawrence had 23 completions on 38 attempts, 364 yards, 1 passing touchdown, 1 rushing touchdown, 1 interception. CJ Stroud had 26 completions on 36 attempts, 304 yards, 2 passing touchdowns, 1 rushing touchdown, no interceptions. CJ had fewer yards, but I honestly think he kind of had a little bit of a better game than Lawrence. A bit better efficiency, better ball security, an extra TD. This was a great game. And the Texans could have come back a little bit there. They were down 3. They get the passing touchdown to go ahead, or to go within 3 with 5 minutes 22 left. So they actually could have won this game. Yeah, it's a shame that I missed this one. Honestly, I really wish that I had seen it. Steelers, Bengals. I think I predicted the Steelers here, didn't I? I did. Yeah, because this is the week after they fired Matt Canada. And I was kind of thinking like they're going to have a boost because I think everybody in that locker room hated that guy. And, yeah, that was kind of my thinking. They're going to have a boost because of that. Then also, maybe they'll be able to play a little bit better football because Matt Canada was not a good offensive coordinator. And the Bengals, obviously Joe Burrow being out, Jake Browning and their QB, I just feel like the Steelers would win this one, and they did so far. Perfect. Perfect going in here. I know that's about to change because I can see who I predicted for the next game. But this is the best. I've done really well here. Up top. Final score 16-10. Bengals are down at the bottom of the AFC North now. They're in 4th. I think playoffs are definitely out of the question this season with the Bengals. I mean, they're obviously not been mathematically eliminated, but they're all but eliminated. Like, yeah, that's losing this divisional game, 5-6 losing record. Joe being out for this season, it's pretty much a wrap. They lose by 6 here. Pittsburgh were 2.5-point favorites, but the total was way under. Kenny Pickett has 24 completions on 33 attempts, 278 yards, no touchdowns, no picks. Jake Browning, 19 completions on 26 attempts, 227 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 interception. I'm honestly kind of shocked he only had 1 interception. I think one of the things he really struggled with when I watched him that first game that Joe Burrow went down in, he was really struggling with ball security, ball protection. He was throwing a lot of 50-50 balls, throwing a lot of interception-worthy balls, so he at least got that under control a little bit. Panthers versus Titans. I did predict the Panthers to win this one. Just on the principle of, like, I thought there's no way that they don't. Like, they have to win a second game, right? And I was like, well, the Titans are kind of shaky right now. Maybe. They have to get a second win at some point, right? So maybe this is the week to do it. Unfortunately, I was wrong. Like at my first, I had 6 straight W's taken L there. Unfortunately, but maybe some good news for Panthers fans. Frank Reich ends up getting fired as head coach of the Carolina Panthers. And somebody out that Urban Meyer lasted longer in Jacksonville. Also, Frank Reich is the first coach in NFL history to be fired in the middle of the season in back-to-back seasons. Like, I don't think there's any way that dude can ever get another head coaching job in the NFL. Like, who is going to back-to-back mid-season firings? And then they also fired the quarterback coach and the running back coach, and I think that's it. So basically all of his personnel have been fired, and I think that's long overdue because they brought in, obviously they drafted Bryce Young first overall at quarterback, and you need to have the right personnel around a QB like that to develop him properly. So get rid of the QB coach if the coach's system isn't working for your young QB. Get him out of there because Bryce Young is the future of the franchise now. And Frank Reich was not doing him any good. He wasn't developing him properly. So they need to focus on, that's the number one priority for the Panthers right now. Focus on Bryce Young. Now I've certainly been critical of Bryce Young in some of my criticisms of him, right? But hey, maybe he'll look better now. The different head coach, who's to say? You never know. You never know. But the Panthers did lose this game by 7. Bryce Young had 18 completions on 31 attempts, 194 yards, 0 touchdowns, 0 picks. Will Levis also had 18 completions, but he did on 28 attempts. 185 yards, 0 touchdowns, 0 picks. Not a great game. Really, if I'm being honest, this is the antithesis of that Jaguars game. The Jaguars-Texans game is the opposite of that game. But Derrick Henry had a decent game. 18 carries, 76 yards, 2 touchdowns. Yeah, I don't know. This game kind of seems like a real snooze fest, to be honest. Saints, Falcons. I think I predicted the Saints here. I did predict the Saints here. They had Derek Carr. Man, this is a weird game. Look at what happened here. Derek Carr, pick 6. Bijan, Desmond Ritter had 2, but the pick 6. This is a classic Derek Carr game. This is such a classic Derek Carr game, man. I bet the Saints to win. They end up losing this game. Listen to this. The Saints lose by 9, 15-24 in favor of the Falcons. Derek Carr is a 92-yard pick 6. Look at his stat line, 24 for 38. That's pretty good. 304 yards. That's pretty good. No touchdowns. They're not great. And then an interception, which is the pick 6, but it's so bad. They had 304 yards rushing. Or 304 passing yards. But they didn't even get a single rushing touchdown. It's 5 field goals. So Derek Carr threw for more than 300 yards, but they were never able to convert any of that. Not even, obviously not into passing touchdowns, let alone a rushing touchdown. Like, I feel like Derek Carr's had so many games like this. It's crazy. Like this, like I said, this just feels like a classic Derek Carr game, in my opinion. Bijan Robinson, have yourself a nice game here. 91 yards on 16 carries, 1 rushing touchdown, 1 receiving touchdown. Desmond Ritter went 13 for 21, 168 yards, a touchdown, 2 picks. Buccaneers, Colts, man, I had 6 straight. I might have 6 straight L's here now. I picked the Bucs to win this one. I feel like every time I pick the Bucs, they let me down, though, man. I'm done picking the Bucs. They end up losing this one to the Colts. Colts are a 2.5-point favorite, but I don't know what it is. The Bucs have come back down to earth a bit. seems like they had that nice little spell there, like that 2, 3, 4 weeks where they looked really nice. And I don't know, the Colts are 6-5 though, man. Like I kind of like after Richardson went down, I kind of tuned out on the Colts a little bit. 'Cause like they're not gonna really be winning without Richardson in there. Is kind of my thinking, but Minshew has stepped in and he's got them winning. It helps that Taylor is back as well, of course. He's an integral piece for them. He had 91 yards this game on 15 carries. A great game from him, but Buccaneers lose this by 7. Baker Mayfield is 20 completions on 30 attempts, 199 yards, 2 touchdowns, and interception. Gardner Minshew is 24 for 41, 251, no touchdowns, and a pick. Patriots, Giants, man, I think I did predict the Giants to win this, didn't I? I did, yeah, I did predict it, and they do end up winning it by 3. Final score is 7-10. I feel like Bill Belichick is purposefully torturing Mac Jones at this point. You brought him in for the first half, and then sat him, and I'm assuming Zappy played the second half, right? It's not, let me look real quick. I'm assuming it was Zappy, I just want to double check. Yeah, then Zappy can't play second half, like, that's been a couple times now, right? Where he'll play Mac Jones in the first half and then bench him. It's like, dude, you're just, like, psychologically torturing the dude at this point. His career is over. Everyone knows his career's over. He knows his career's over. But you're just, like, rubbing his nose in it week in, week out. Like, it's brutal. Danny Dimes, Danny DeVito. He gets the W this time over Meatball Mac. These, some nicknames there. The win by 3, like I said. Mac Jones has 12 completions on 21 attempts, 89 passing yards. Bro had 89 passing yards, 0 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. Bailey Zappi, 9 completions on 14 attempts, 54 yards, no touchdowns, and 1 pick. So there are 2 quarterbacks combined for like 140 yards, no touchdowns, 3 interceptions. I don't know why I find that so funny. Okay, their 2 quarterbacks combined threw for fewer yards than Tommy DeVito, bro. Tommy DeVito. Like a dude straight out of The Sopranos. They got to they had like a video of his family who were there at the game, and they were like, bro, his family's in the mafia. Tommy D has 17 completions on 25 attempts, 191 yards, 1 touchdown, no picks. Mac Jones at a QB rating of 27.8. Bro. At least Ramondre Stevenson in a good game, 98 yards and a touchdown, but boy, oh boy, oh boy. Alright, let's get out of here before I keep laughing. I got some flack with this one. I got some pushback on this one. I said that the Broncos would beat the Browns. And some people were saying like, nah, there's no way. They thought that the Browns defense obviously is going to be way better. Too much for the Broncos to handle, but I thought the Broncos have been rolling. They've been playing like one of the best teams in the league over the last couple weeks. Russell Wilson's been playing like one of the best QBs in the league over the last couple weeks, which is a huge turnaround, not only from earlier this season, but from last season. And I was like, I have a little bit of faith in the Broncos right now. Russ is starting to remind me of old Russ. And they got the win over the Browns this week. Deshaun Watson, obviously, out for the season. But, I was feeling like even with him being out, that defense being as good as it is, they could still get wins against good teams. But Broncos ended up winning this one by 17. They were only a 1.5 point favorite. Dorian Thompson-Robinson for Cleveland has 14 completions on 29 attempts, 134 yards, a touchdown, no picks. Russell Wilson, 13 completions on 22 attempts, 134 yards, 1 passing, 1 rushing touchdown, no picks. Yeah. Hold on, PJ Walker also played in this game. I hate the way that this website, it only shows one quarterback. I kind of like PJ Walker better, if I'm being honest, than Dorian. I don't know why they keep Philip Walker. No, it's PJ. Yeah, PJ. They call him Philip here. 6 completions, 13 attempts, 56 yards. Yeah, they ain't play PJ, man. He got 56 yards on only 6 completions. Yeah, that guy got 134 and 14. Like, PJ's better. You gotta be playing PJ. Rams, Cardinals. I predicted the Rams there. And the Rams do end up getting the win, man. I think things started to turn around here for me. Started to turn around 37-14 in favor of the Rams. Matthew Stafford had like a prime Matthew Stafford game this week. Oh man, QB rating of 121. Absolutely went beast mode. 25 completions on 33 attempts, 229 yards, 4 touchdowns, a pick. His team won by 23 points. Kyler Murray, his 3rd game now, returning from injury. I believe this game number 3. 27 completions on 45 attempts, 256 yards, 1 touchdown, and 0 interceptions. Higbee. It was all Higbee here. I'm not even seeing like some of the guys you expect to see. Yeah. Anyway, finally we get to a game that I was able to watch. So let me bust out my notes here and talk about it a little bit. Bills versus Eagles. This was a big one. This was a big game this week. I thought this had the potential to be the best game of the week. And my prediction, just to get out of the way now, my prediction was that the Bills would win. I thought the Eagles might be on a little bit of a hangover after last week. And for a minute there, it looked like the Bills were going to win. But ultimately, the Eagles do get the job done. Let's talk about it. Shockingly to me, this was Josh Allen's first career start in Philadelphia. That seemed wildly improbable. Buffalo starts with the ball. That drive ends in a punt. The first 2 plays, the Eagles' first drive, Hurts gets pressured, is forced to throw it away. Next drive, Bills' offense finally starts rolling. They fail to convert a 3rd and long. Drive comes to an end. 2 huge runs back to back for the Eagles, gets them to the 2-yard line. Hurts rushes in, touchdown. Eagles get on the board first. Buffalo needs to get the penalties in check if they're going to stand a chance in this game. Bills get a field goal to pull within 4, and then the next drive, Jalen Hurts gets intercepted, which puts the Bills into great field position. Allen gets pressured, he converts to 3rd and 9. And then the next play, Josh Allen runs it in for the touchdown. Bills take the lead with 8 minutes left in the first half. And I said that the Bills defense is doing a great job of pressuring Hurts. After the first touchdown, Eagles offense had a hard time getting going. They're forced to punt right before the 2-minute warning. And going into halftime, Hurts Hurts has 3 completions on 10 attempts, only 24 passing yards in that first half for Jalen Hurts. Terrible half for him. Bills come down, 2 huge receptions, gets him to the goal line. Allen drops back on second down, is sacked. The ball comes out, but the Bills recover. And the Bills are forced to kick the field goal, but it goes wide left. It wasn't even close. I said it was one of the worst kicks I've ever seen, but just you wait. The Bears game has even worse kicks. Eagles get the ball back with 1:22 left, 2 timeouts. But then Hurts fumbles the ball. The Bills get the ball back with 1:02. At that point, I was asking, is Jalen Hurts injured? Because this entire first half, Jalen Hurts looked terrible. Legitimately the worst half of football I've ever seen him play. Allen to Diggs, touchdown. Buffalo goes up 10 going into halftime. Bills start the second half with a field goal attempt, but that one misses as well. Hurts to Brown, end zone touchdown. I said the Bills have given the Eagles life with that missed field goal. Josh Allen scrambles, ends up running into the end zone for a touchdown. And then you have Hurts to Devonta Smith deep in the end zone for a touchdown, and they were just going back and forth, just like Ali and Foreman, man. Like, it was just non-stop. There's a nice fake screen, sets up the play for Smith on that. Then Josh Allen gets picked off on the second play at the next drive, and I said the Eagles might take control of the game here if they can punish this. 3rd and 15, Hurts drops back, he's pressured, he throws it deep in the end zone, and it is caught. Eagles take the lead with 11 minutes left in the game. And I said it's time for Josh Allen to step up and be a hero, but then on 3rd and 13, he gets sacked. And again, the Buffalo offensive line is completely fallen apart when it is most needed. And I feel like I've said that a couple times about this Buffalo offensive line this season. They cannot handle the big moments. Buffalo marches down the field, keeps possession for 5+ minutes. Kills the clock down to the 2-minute warning. They go into the Eagles 10. And then it's Allen to Davis for the touchdown. Great sequence from the Bills to retake the lead. Eagles have 1:52 to tie it or win it. 2nd and 15. Hurts tries to run. Doesn't go anywhere. Eagles are trying to get into field goal range. Kelsey commits a penalty. Sets up a 3rd and 17. And then Hurts drops back. Incomplete pass. Now the Eagles need to make a 60-yard field goal to send the game to overtime. And the kick is good on a 60-yarder. The game's heading to overtime. Bills start with the ball in overtime. I said their fate is in their hands. They can win this game right here. Bills convert back-to-back 3rd downs. I was like, alright, they're winning. Like, not 1 but 2 3rd down conversions in overtime. You gotta win that. Eagles get a roughing the passer call. In addition to that, it's like, alright, it's over. Like, back-to-back 3rd downs plus an RTP. Like, boom, see ya. Allen drops back as Davis wide open in the end zone, but can't get the ball to him. And then Bass makes the 40-yard field goal. I said the Bills defense just needs to get a stop. But then Hurts has a huge pass to Smith, gets past the 50-yard line. Brown catches the ball, but it comes out. It's ruled an incomplete. They end up reviewing it. The ruling stands. It's an incomplete. Then Smith gets the 1st down, and then Hurts runs for the touchdown. So it was like, this might be the season for Buffalo. I don't know. Buffalo right now, they're 6-6. 2nd in the AFC. They have the Chiefs coming up. That's probably a loss. Then they have Dallas after that. That could easily be a loss. The Rams, they should win that. The Patriots, they should win that. But that last week of the season, they have Miami. deciding if the Buffalo Bills make the playoffs or not. I don't know, but they have kind of a rough road ahead here. They lose by 3 this game. Josh Allen, 29 for 51, 339 yards, 2 touchdowns, and a pick. Jalen Hurts, 18 for 31, 200 yards, 3 touchdowns, and a pick. But he also had 2 rushing touchdowns. So Jalen Hurts had 5 total touchdowns in this game. Just a crazy performance from him. Finally, Chiefs Raiders. Not finally. Next up, Chiefs Raiders. I predicted the Chiefs here, and for a second it looked like they were gonna lose this, but they do end up winning it in the end. They were down 14-0 early in this game, then they came back and remembered that they were the Kansas City Chiefs. We're playing against a team led by Aiden O'Connell. End up winning it 31-17. Patrick Mahomes goes 27 for 34, 298 yards, 2 touchdowns, no interceptions. Aiden O'Connell 23 for 33, 248 yards, 1 touchdown, 0 picks. Rashee Rice had a game. Besides Jacoby Myers, to be fair. Rashee Rice 107 yards on 8 receptions. Jacoby Myers 79 yards on 6 receptions. It's crazy averages there, but Pacheco, I feel like I've been hearing Pacheco's name more and more every week. Like, it feels like he's just getting better and better. He had 15 carries for 55 yards and 2 touchdowns this game. Like, I don't know. I just feel like dude's always just doing it good. Ravens, Chargers. I predicted the Ravens to win this one, and they do end up winning it at 20-10 to your final score. But man, I feel so bad for the Chargers, for Herbert. The Chargers are 4-7. They are bottom in the AFC West, and I don't know how you fix that team, man. Herbert deserves better, but like his wide receivers, man, they're just dropping everything. The play calls for him are so bad. They need to get a new coach in there, new offensive coordinator or something, get some better receivers, because, yeah, man, he's like, Herbert, you can look at the score, you can look at whatever, but like, he's trying to force it, he's trying to will the team to a victory, but he's just not able to, man. Baltimore was just totally overwhelming for them. That Baltimore defense is so good. And that offense, Zay Flowers especially, man. Zay Flowers has been on a tear this season. He has a passing and a rushing touchdown this game. Dude's been doing everything on offense with the Ravens. He's an absolute weapon. Lamar has 18 completions on 32 attempts, 177 yards, 1 touchdown, no picks. Herbert, 29 for 44, 217, 1 touchdown, 1 pick. And finally, a game that I did watch, Bears-Vikings. I predicted the Vikings to win this. Shockingly, they didn't. I had a guy who, in the comments, he had his parlay resting on the Vikings winning this game. He's like asking if he should cash out. Thankfully, he did cash out. I asked him in the comments, but like, man, this was a rough game from the Vikings, from Josh Dobbs especially. Let's talk about it. Justin Fields is getting the ball out quickly to start the game. 3rd down, he scrambles, avoids 2 tackles, converts at the first, and he does it again on the next play. Justin Fields just doing everything on his feet. Finally gets sacked after that. Drive ends in a 40-yard field goal attempt, and the kick is wide right. It's at this absolute disaster after the great drive that Fields had just orchestrated. First play of the drive, Dobbs goes deep to Addison, but it's ruled incomplete, and then Dobbs gets sacked by Montez Sweat on 3rd down. Vikings go 3 and out, forced to punt. Then Fields starting to get swarmed by the Vikings defense. He gets hit for a loss of 12. But then the Bears commit a penalty that I don't think I've ever seen before. They get a too many man in the huddle penalty. That was a weird one. Bears call a screen pass on 3rd and 21, which feels like a really weird play call to do. And then the offense ended up staying on the field for a 4th and 10. I was like, what are they doing? But then Fields, to command, he converted the 4th First drive ends in a field goal attempt, but this one is good. They go on the board first. Vikings offense can't get anything going. Bears defense all over them. And then the Bears get an interception. I was like, this game is not going the way that I thought it would. A daunting penalty pushes the Bears back. They're unable to punish the turnover. I said Chicago has now left 6 points at the very least on the board. But then Dobbs throws his second interception of the game on the next drive. Ball bounces off the hands of Anderson and the hands of the defense. And so far the Bears look better on both sides of the ball. Dobbs almost gets intercepted a third time on third down. I said he's looked absolutely terrible this game. A far cry from how he looked those first couple games with the Vikings, where he looked like a world beater. It's 3-0 Bears, 3 minutes 30 seconds left in the first half. Fields on third down, scrambles, can't make a decision, results in a fourth down and a punt at the 2-minute warning. I said it feels like the first team to score a touchdown will end up winning this game because neither offense is able to get anything going at all. Less than a minute left in the first half. Vikings start rolling. All of a sudden they get to a fourth down. And then they end up kicking a field goal to tie the game. And we go into halftime tied 3-3. Vikings go for it on 4th and 7 to start the second half, unable to convert. Justin Fields has a nice little run down the middle to convert the third down. Bears get into good field position. They kick a 39-yard field goal and take the lead. 4th and 3rd, the Vikings go for it, but Dobbs gets intercepted for a third time. Bears tack on yet another field goal, and then Dobbs throws his 4th interception on the next drive, and I was like, what is wrong with this dude? He came out here after Kirk went down, win, like looking good, playing well. And he comes into this game and throws 4 picks, and 2 of those run back-to-back drives. He looked like a totally different quarterback than we had seen the last couple of weeks. But then Fields gets sacked, he fumbles the ball, and I was like, this game is absolutely terrible. This is one of the worst football games. Vikings gets down to the 10-yard line. Dobbs to Hawkinson gets the first touchdown of the game. They pull ahead by 1. Fields gets sacked for another fumble. Vikings recover. I was like, neither of these QBs are interested in protecting the ball. Vikings 3 and out. After the turnover, Justin Fields has a massive pass on third down, puts the Bears onto the Minnesota 20, and then the 30-yard field goal is good, and the Chicago Bears win. They sure do. What a weird, bad, awful game for the Minnesota Vikings and Josh Dobbs in particular. Justin Fields had 27 completions on 37 attempts, 217 yards, no touchdowns, no picks. Honestly, he should have had at least 1 touchdown. He was playing so well. Josh Dobbs, 22 for 32, 185 yards, 1 touchdown, 4 interceptions, man. 4 interceptions for Dobbs. Just a back-breaking performance. There were 16 games this week. I got 11 of them correct. I'll pull up my calculator. 11 divided by 16 for 69% this week. Very nice, very nice. So we are currently, I have gotten 108 games correct out of 108. 164 plus 16, 174, 180. 108 out of 180 games correct for 60% on the season. We just keep getting better and better as it goes. So, thank you guys so much for watching. I do appreciate it. If you liked the video, please leave a thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel for more content just like this almost every single day. And until next time, guys. Bye-bye.